it's with great amount of pleasure and appreciation I'll introduce David Lipscomb, who started our program of Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing Martinez Group, started it 10 years ago. David, you're on.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it. So before introducing Todd, I just wanted to provide a quick smattering of a few of the ways that we've been building camaraderie in the Martinez program. Camaraderie is sort of the magic sauce for healing in the Project Healing Waters program. If you look at the bottom center slide there, you'll see one of the best fly rod building shops in the world, Wayne Hofer's Garage. And you'll see some very intent veterans with a number of volunteers looking over their shoulders, helping them with their fly rod building. That's something we get to do every year, courtesy of the Central Headquarters program and a very nice donor who contributes a lot to that. And we're very happy that we've had the great success in it. Actually, we've won national title for 2 years in a row. One of our guys did. If you shift over to the upper right, you'll see a group of vets who, with big smiles because they've been catching big trout. They were up at Eagle Canyon Lake, which is one of the best stock lakes in Northern California. And you get to catch really catch really big trout, but you also lose a lot of really big trout. If you go over to the upper left here, you'll see a bunch of guys in front of a cabin up at on the Fall River, and that's at Circle 7 Ranch. And they're smiling a lot for the fishing, but they're smiling as much because the food and the entertainment we had up there was probably just as good as the fishing. Dropping down to the lower left, this is a bunch of guys who are out in the wilds in Du Bois, Wyoming. It's a place we've been going for about the last 5 years. We've been very fortunate because we've had not a volunteer, but a very good friend who has provided us a cabin there for every year, and we go and we just have a great time. And we also learn something new. We learn about bear spray, and we learn when you walk through the wild in that part of Wyoming, you're saying, "Here, bear, here, bear." And you really do. They have had quite a few bears around that area. You drop down to the lower right, and that last group is up on the McKenzie River in Oregon, where Al has some very good connections up there, and we've been going up there for the last couple of years. And in Oregon, I can sort of sum it up by what one of the senior vets said. Once again, our Project Healing Waters program has outdone itself. Amazing. Finally, I'm grateful to have the privilege to befriend the finest people alive. So that's just a quick smattering. And now I'd like to introduce Todd. Colonel Todd Desgrosseilliers is a U.S. Marine, 31-year veteran, and Chief Executive Officer of Project Healing Waters. His path to CEO of Project Healing Waters could not have been better scripted. Growing up in Maine, he developed a love for fly fishing with the native brook trout and landlocked salmon. 1985, he decided to enlist. I never have talked to him about how he did that and why he did that, but hopefully we'll get a chance to learn. In 85, he quickly became a sergeant, and that's pretty hard to do in the Marines. My brother was in the Marines, and I know. He even more quickly became an infantry officer in 1991. Many commands along the way, he ended up being executive and commanding officer of 2 3rd Battalion units, both with deployments to Iran, where Todd was seriously wounded several times. With numerous other operations under his belt and 11 unit deployments overseas, Todd retired in 2016. In between all that deploying and training, he got married, he earned a bachelor's and master's degree, and he raised 3 children. Pretty amazing. 2015, he was in rehabilitation himself, and one of his doctors recommended that he look at Project Healing Waters for therapy. So the participant and the volunteer, he served in both roles, decided a couple of years later, maybe he could apply for the CEO job of this organization called Project Healing Waters. Fortunately for all of us, he applied and he was accepted. His awards are too numerous to mention, but I'll include a few. Silver Star, 2 Bronze Stars with Valor, 2 Purple Hearts, and on and on. My great honor and pleasure to introduce Colonel Todd Desgrosseilliers, CEO of Project Healing Waters. Todd, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, David, for that introduction. And Alan, thank you for your partnership that has now going into its 11th year. We have 230 programs nationwide right now. There's not too many of them that have been with us for 10 years or more. So, I'm really grateful for that. I know you're carrying on, something that that is just such a powerful healing force for the veterans that are involved. And I know the veterans in this particular program are also members of the Diablo Valley Fly Fishers as well. So it's a double bonus for them as well. So, and as David said, it's that camaraderie, it's that friendship. Got muted by accident there. That powerful healing force of joy that people get from the program, and David, I know Alan, you've been a volunteer for 9 or 10 of those years, and David's been involved with our program for the entire span of the time as well. And I know there's a lot of members of this club who are longtime supporters of the cause as well. So I'm just really super grateful for all that, and the reason that I wanted to sort of recognize the club is kind of in honor of that commitment and that dedication that all of you have shown to help veterans that they're struggling in different ways with different issues. And really the only thing that's going to heal us is the love that we get from the friendship and the camaraderie that's provided from all of you. So it's a really powerful healing force. There's no medicine that can equal it, and it works. Prior to this pandemic, I spent a good part of the year on the road traveling, and over 250 days, and every single place that I went to, somebody, usually more than one person, told me the 5 words that I hear the most are, "This program saved my life." I can imagine that many of you have heard that as well, because it does. And it's not really the program. The program is the community, and as David said, and he has so very skillfully led this program for so many years. He's created a community where the participants can heal, and all of you have done that as well. And that's really the vision of our organization, and you all have enabled that mission and made it real. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of commitment from all of you over a long period of time, and it's absolutely amazing. So thank you all for that up front. From me, as a disabled veteran myself, I was wounded in Iraq in the Second Battle of Fallujah a number of times, and again, during my second deployment as well. So I have a lot of the injuries that our program works well for, particularly for this current generation of multiple traumatic brain injuries and PTSD caused by chronic pain. So the program actually worked for me as well. And who knew? I grew up in Maine fly fishing, as David said, and it's something I did as a kid. I learned from my grandparents, and it's joyful memories I have of my childhood is fly fishing with my grandfather out on the various streams in Maine for brook trout. Who knew that sport could be a healing force for so many? We have nearly 4,000 volunteers nationwide right now, 230 programs, and over 8,300 participants. We continue to grow, and even during the pandemic, we continue to register new participants and volunteers in our program through our virtual applications that we have in the CRM that we're building. So we've continued to persevere in face of this pandemic with virtual activities for now, and we're in a process of figuring out a way to get back to some sort of in-person contact on a national level with a volunteer organization, and we're pretty close to that as well. So the healing continues, and thanks to the sort of standards that you all have set as a club and as an organization and as a program, you serve as an example for a lot of other of our newer programs as a pathway to success. I know David and many of you have helped start other programs in California as well, and that just shows the profound commitment of all of you and the deep understanding that you have of how all of this works. I enlisted in the Marines just to kind of answer David's questions. In 1985, I was actually in college and I quit. I got tired of going to college, and my recruiter told me I couldn't go to boot camp for 6 months. So I rode my bicycle across the country and did a bunch of other crazy stuff in the meanwhile. But I ended up going to boot camp at Paris Island in 1985 and was in the infantry and was a scout sniper instructor and did a lot of different things. And for some reason, they decided that I should be an officer. So I was in the Marine Corps for 31 years, absolutely loved it. There's no country on earth that equals ours in any way in terms of goodness and qualities of our citizens. And there's nothing like traveling abroad for 30 years to have you realize what a great nation this is. And it's filled with people like all of you that I'm honored to serve and to serve alongside in all different sorts of ways, and really just have the opportunity now to continue to serve. But I joined because everybody I grew up around, they were Marines. My dad, my uncles, all the people that I knew were in the Marine Corps. So when it came time for me to join the military, I just went in the Marines. It just happened to work out much better than college at the time anyway. So in any case, we do have an award for you. And I have it here in front of me, which I'll mail to Alan. It's a Club Excellence Award. So it's an award that we present to our clubs for some of the things that I've already talked about. Your excellence and your commitment to excellence in the quality of the program and really the quality of your giving to other people. It's a sort of selfless service to volunteer, to help other people, and even the number of participants and disabled veterans that you have as volunteers is testament to the quality of how that program is working. So what I thought I would do was just read it to you so you can listen to some of the things that you've accomplished as a team over the past 10 years, and really just reinforce my personal gratitude for everything that you've done, not for me or for Project Healing Waters, but for the people that matter the most, which are our participants that have been able to heal from the program. So the Club Excellence Award presented to Diablo Valley Fly Fishers. Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing takes great pleasure in presenting the Club Excellence Award to Diablo Valley Fly Fishers for its partnership with the Project Healing Waters Martinez program from 2010 to 2020. During this period, DVFF provided excellence and outreach within their geographical area, fundraising support, Project Healing Waters program services, volunteer recruitment, retention, program innovation, and increased community awareness for the Project Healing Waters mission, vision, and our core values. As one of the largest fly fishing clubs in Northern California, DVFF provided substantial resource for excellent fly fishing talent and volunteers for the Project Healing Waters program. Affiliated with a local Department of Veterans Affairs outpatient clinic, at least 20 club members provide regular support to the program, and another 20 to 30 provide event-specific support. Volunteer retention remains strong from the program's beginning. DVFF hosts a quarterly new member orientation, which covers every major area of club activity, including the Project Healing Waters program. This provides each new member with an opportunity to become involved with the club's program. During the program meetings, Fly Fishers International certified casting instructors lead casting lessons and fly tying classes, feature one of the West's top fly tyers, along with a plethora of great tyers from DVFF. A DVFF member hosts rod building classes in his home each year. A DVFF member took the lead in elevating the Project Healing Waters safety program, focused on wading safety with the use of a swimming pool for training. DVFF also recruited a volunteer leader to plan outings that enhance the rehabilitation of participants. These outings include 10 to 12 remarkable overnight outings per year in California, Oregon, and Wyoming. DVFF board members also help the program raise substantial funds for outings and make fundraising efforts like the online auction successful. DVFF is also encouraging fly fishing engagement in many local community areas. This helped the Martinez program reach key donor entities, including the Lesher Foundation, Rossmore Rotary Club, Martinez Kiwanis Club, and the La Marinda Rotary. DVFF members initiated their first online auction in 2015, which became the primary annual fundraiser. Additional fundraisers comes from the annual Sacramento River Delta bass fishing event, the Pleasanton Fly Fishing Show, and community grants. The program's volunteers observed clear healing outcomes in its participants. During this period, DVFF created a remarkable program where the participants remain highly engaged, inspired, and motivated to serve others. Due to the exceptional leadership within the program, some participants also transitioned to volunteers, thereby adding to the sustainability of the program and the vitality of DVFF. Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing Incorporated is proud to bestow upon the Diablo Valley Fly Fishers the Club Excellence Award for its tireless and extraordinary service to Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing and to the disabled veterans whom this organization serves. Again, here is a photo shot that we have of, get this right here, club members there and the participants, and then the citation. So Alan, I will mail this to you so you can have it, David, as well. Thank you both for your extraordinary leadership and for your amazing commitment to our cause. But again, more importantly, for all the good that you've provided and the healing that you've provided to a countless number of veterans who have greatly benefited from that genuine concern and the camaraderie and friendship that the program provides and the club provides for them as well. So thank you so much. And I'm really honored to just to be a part of this organization and to be able to work alongside all of you. It's just such a great privilege for me. So thank you so much.
If we have any questions, if you put those on chat.
Okay, John, I'm not sure we're going to have time for that. We got about 5 minutes to the club meeting.
Right.
But Todd, I did want to thank you for recognizing the group of volunteers here. I'm the 5th club president who's been involved during the 10 years that this volunteer group has been supporting the veterans. And we've been proud to be a part of this. And we hope to continue. So thank you for the recognition. Thank you for the award. And David, I think you had some things you wanted to add as well.
Thanks, Todd. Really appreciate it. I just want to say, and I want to say it emphatically, that you, the DVFF volunteers, are the ones that made this happen. We've got world-class fly fishing people in this club who give willingly of their time, energy, and money to make this a success. I don't know any club you could find where you're going to get the level of instruction that we get in fly tying and casting and rod building and fishing and just everything. 10 years ago, I could not even spell nonprofit. I didn't know what it was all about. But because of a great cadre of people and generosity of cadre who really knew about fundraising, helped, and the generosity of the volunteers and everybody in the club, I think we have one of the best fundraising programs in the country. I'm proud to say that. And it's what the money does, though, it lets us go on and do those activities I showed you at the beginning. We're averaging now like we were, and we will again soon, hopefully, 12 overnight outings a year, which is, we're not catching up with the club, but every one of them really builds the camaraderie and most importantly, fulfills the mission of healing and rehabilitation. So thank you for your strong and steadfast support. And I'm sure the future of the program is going to be just as good going forward. Thanks.
Thanks, David. We do have some time, John. Should we open it up for questions for Todd?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if you if anybody has a question for Todd or David, if you would just type it into chat and we'll pass it along and get it answered.
Got a couple hoorahs on there. Marine thing.
But by the way, Todd, you're a good draw. We're up to 83 people.
That's
And,
great.
Yeah. And this is kind of an unusual time. Club meetings don't usually start till 7:30. So thank you for drawing people. Maybe they'll stay for the club meeting.
That would be a good thing as well. So you have a fantastic club here. I know you all should be very proud just to be part of it because you're doing such great work. And, I can't thank you enough. I really want you to understand that what you're doing matters a lot to so many people. And you're really setting an example to other organizations, other programs of how to do this right. So I had a question. Project Healing Waters it started in 2004. As part of FFI, actually, we started under their nonprofit status for several years, and then in 2007, our founder Ed Nicholson, who's a retired Navy captain, got it established as its own separate nonprofit. And we've existed as our own nonprofit since 2007, and have grown from one program at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C., to a second program at the VA Center in Maine, in Augusta, called Togus, to now 230 programs nationwide. So, we have 230 programs, and we expect to continue to grow. Again, that's somewhat on hold, at least in terms of programs during the pandemic, but we are continuing to register new participants and new volunteers, and have persevered where we can in spite of the pandemic. And like David said, we are going to come up with a protocol to move in the direction of in-person, engagements again as well, which should be coming out soon. We got it under review with our legal counsel and with our insurance company.
Well, we're betting on that. We're counting on that, Todd. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got a couple questions here if you want to continue.
Well, let's take one more, and then we got to
Okay.
start the club meeting. Go ahead. Can you see him okay on the chat?
Yep. Yeah. So what can members do to help this program? So I know that nothing like this is an easy effort. So my view generally is many hands make light work of big tasks. This is a big task. So any sort of skills that you have as a person would be valuable to David and Alan to help manage the program. And it's not just fly fishing skills. It's all sorts of things. We have fundraising, people that are talented in that and that sort of thing. We're creating a Salesforce CRM database for operational data. So any sort of IT skills and public speaking. I mean, there's all sorts of things outside of fly fishing skills. And this club is, I think, blessed with some extraordinarily talented people in all the many different areas of fly fishing as well. So to augment that, I think that, anything that people can contribute that they're super good at makes David's job easier as the program lead and Alan's job easier as a leader of a club that we partner with to provide, a really high quality program. And all that comes together at the end of the day as the team that makes it happen. So, it's, the one question that we always would ask when we're getting on the landing craft, going to the beach is how many people can you fit on an LCU? Well, there's always room for one more. So there's always room for one more volunteer in the program. And I know David and Alan will find a place for you that'll make you feel proud to be there as well. So again, thanks to everybody. Thanks, Alan, for inviting me, and David for your extraordinary dedication to the program, and to everybody else in this amazing club for your commitment to not only support fly fishing, but to turn it into a way for people to heal. So thank you very much.
And thank you, Todd, for appreciating recognizing us. Thank you so much.